News, my lovely, wonderful people. Oshiomhole releases some very devastating news that you need to hear. He said they will blackmail us. Oshiomhole warns Godwin Akpabio over private investors' bill. Investigation has begun, and that's in the investigations that is beginning as a result of, what happened in Edo State, the Edo State election, and how Godwin, Obaseki says and insists that his candidate won, that they have all it takes to ensure that the right things are done. This is becoming a real clear vision in terms of what APC did with regards to the situation at hand. So there are all kinds of insinuation that something may seriously be wrong. Every single person is watching and wants to see how this is playing out. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. As Obaseki, as Oshiomhole insists that, they will be blackmailed, that there is blackmailing activities going on with regards to, what happened with APC's election. Do you want to hear the truth? Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Former Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki expressed concerns about the potential danger of a law that would permit Nigerians to apply for private investigation license, to warn that such legislation could lead to extortion, blackmail, and unnecessary competition, making it challenging to regulate and to control. Oshiomhole emphasized that investigative duties are already assigned to institutions like the Nigerian Police, DSS, EFCC, and ICPC, which are responsible for monitoring law and order. If the legislative go ahead and legalize private investigation, he says they will be in serious trouble and they don't want that at the moment. He recounted a previous situation where private investigators were established but ended up targeting individuals and organizations, resulting in cases of blackmail. This issue becomes a serious and a very careful matter that the federal government had to step in right now and dissolve this group wanting to legalize private investigation in Nigeria. The risk of granting investigative power to private citizens will jeopardize the presidency, the executives, and the legislatives. He said in a 5 coverage by Safram for this Senate to enact a law that will give a Nigerian to apply for a license and to be licensed so that they can carry out private investigation on anyone. It will just be a license for extortion, a license for blackmail, and unnecessary rivalry, and it will not be controllable. I think that if this need be, we can empower the police, and other security arms of the government to do their work effectively, which this is currently being handled by the Nigerian Police, DSS, and of course EFCC. All of these are chargeable and inclusive of ICPC. I remember one particular gentleman who was set up along with others to carry out investigation. In the end, targeted individuals and agencies more or less for blackmail, and in the end the federal government was too embarrassed, so they had to disband that investigation. So what is currently happening is a clear indication of a welcome of anarchy in our society if the legislative go ahead and license private investigation. So Oshiomhole is afraid that, one of the bills that has been passed that Nigerians have put across to the House is to legalize, to give a legislative an approval for private investigation to be carried on in Nigeria. Oshiomhole is very scared, is very worried, and does not want this to happen. He's saying they should not allow anybody to become a private investigator in Nigeria. He said because this will lead to a lot of, confusion in the country, and they will particularly be at stake. They will particularly be affected, and he does not want to be affected with all of this Okay, he does not want to be affected. He wants to ensure that he's protected. So he's sending a serious message to Godwin Akpabio saying, don't allow all these people that are calling for private investigation, don't allow them. If you allow them, will be at risk. This is his own plea. This is his own personal, position. He wants things under wraps. Where, for instance, look at what is happening look at what is happening in Lagos currently, or Rivers. Is it just Lagos or Rivers? See Rivers, for instance. See what's going on in Rivers. See how, a single man can use the police, okay, to hold a state in ransom. These are very, very confusing moments where every single person needs to ensure that the truth, is done, so that truth can be rewarded and Nigeria can move forward. Enough of all of this. We want the truth to be manifested, and we want Nigeria to be in a very, very serious position where we can have, freedom of rights, freedom of words, and nobody should be, it should be compared, okay, or should be made to feel that you have no say. These things have to be dealt with, okay. These things have to be dealt with so that Nigerians can move forward. The earlier we begin to know that the world has moved on and we come to 21st century, I think it will help us, because the Nigerian government still wants us to remain in 1942. They don't want Nigerians to move forward. They want Nigerians to remain in 1942, where the world is in 2024, even moving forward, but Nigeria is still way, way, way behind. In terms of leadership, in terms of legality, in terms of honesty and sincerity, okay, transparency in government. To a large extent, we need this. To a large extent, we need transparency in all of these grounds. We don't want the same thing over and over again. Okay? So this is what is happening. Everybody's watching, and we want a real transformation in order for things to move very quickly. You see, so these are very, 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 very interesting moments, you see. So please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe, click on the notification button so you can have all our latest news. Remember, you have a voice. God bless. Have a fantastic and a lovely day. And from us, is bye for now. Bye-bye.